Miami Sports Always from two homies in Miami.
What is going on, Spectator Nation? We are back. John, Juan, the Sports Spectator Podcast, episode 24, our Kobe episode, first and foremost. Rest in peace, Kobe. I miss you every single day, my guy. And oh my God, on top of that it's the Kobe episode, that's not helping the fact because I'm already extremely depressed, John. It is just a terrible, terrible time to be a Miami sports fan. It is painful. God is a hateful God. So he either hates us completely or he just completely ignores us, man. It's sad, so it's a sad time to be alive, to be quite honest with you. But hey, we're the vibes persevere, even though, the depression continues as well. So how are you, man? You're looking good. Your skin you're glowing, bro. So I feel like something's got to be going on right in your life because I'm struggling, if I'm being honest with you.
It's a hard time to be a Heat fan, but honestly, it's just like, I don't know, maybe it's just the fighting spirit, but whenever it just comes to game time, I'm all in again. I mean, it's Heat in 7. I'm feeling optimistically confident. Like, it's Kobe Bryant's episode. I feel like maybe the ritual to perform is watch Kobe Bryant highlights versus the Miami Heat, and that will trigger something in the universe to have us win tonight's game in Boston. So I feel good with that being said.
Dude, I hope so, man, because yeah, man, it's tough, but it's funny you mentioned that. I'm always so depressed at the beginning, and then as soon as I watch the games, I'm just like, I'm sucked back in again. And I bet you the Heat somehow will actually win tonight and kind of like make it seem like it's like, oh, you guys thought we were out, and they sucked me back in instead of just kind of like putting me out of my misery. But I completely agree, man. Like Kobe, it feels right. Episode 24, Kobe energy is somehow going to be out there. I don't know how, but you know what? I'm fully back. We're back. I don't care.
So
we're back.
Yeah, how about this? We are we're recording right now at 7 p.m. in Miami on Wednesday. So the game starts in a half hour at 7:30. So Juan, give me your "we just won" take. So when we win tonight, we can post this as a reel. Give me your just like, imagine the game just ended and this is your message to the world. And we just won.
Boy, I'm going to be out there like we were smoking that motherfucking Boston pack. Boy, you thought we were out. You thought we were really going to make it that easy. You thought just because we gave you 2 dubs at home, you thought just because we couldn't defend the Kaseya Center, we were going to make it that easy. It's Heat and motherfucking 7. And if you doubted that, then you don't know ball. All right? Reconsider your life choices. That would be what I would say if assuming that we win tonight. So
beautiful, dude. And we can say, yeah, Miami owns Boston.
100%.
Wow.
100%.
I hope we win just so we can post that now. Like, oh my God.
Dude, I hope so, man, because I don't know if my heart can take it. But anyways, going on into a little bit more happier topics before we actually come back and discuss the Miami Heat a little bit. So Gol Gala, we got to talk about that, John. Very, very excited. What do we have to tell the fans about this sensational event? For those of you that may not already be familiar with it.
Yeah, so this is going to be our second event that we host. Our first one was back in December last year when the Dolphins played the New York Jets. It was awesome. We had about 100 people come out, and we planned it in a week. So this is our second event that we're doing, and we've got like 2 months now. We've been planning it for about 3. It's going to be on June 23rd for the Copa America. It's the first soccer game that USA is playing during that tournament versus Bolivia at 6 o'clock at night. And then Uruguay and Panama are actually playing in Miami that night at 9. So a little bit of a pregame action, a little bit of, watch that game there. So it's going to be first half of the day is a $3,000 6v6 soccer tournament. It's going to be lit, broadcasted on Twitch, referees, professional photographers. It's going to be an awesome production. And that will lead into a happy hour between 5 and 6 p.m. where, happy hour for drinks. DJs playing music all day, some great vintage soccer jersey brand that we're partnering with on this, and a bunch of really cool sponsors. So it's going to be an awesome event. Make sure you RSVP, sign up your team, golgala.com, GOLGALA.com. And yeah, man, I don't know. Did I miss anything on that? Is there anything else of hype to add?
No, I think you got it. Definitely come. Again, if you got something to prove, if the haters always doubted you, if they never said that you were going to be the next Messi, well, they might be right. But you could be, the next something else. And we'll give you guys a chance to prove it by coming out. All right. So make sure golgala.com. Again, register, come out, have a good time, come see us. If you attended our watch party in the past, you know how fun it is to hang out with John and myself. So again, if you're not there, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, because that is going to be the place to be come June. All right. See you guys there. Woo.
Amen.
All right, man.
Well done.
I'm super psyched, man. I know, John, you've been putting a lot of work into this, and I'm excited to have our second event ever, baby. Should be good.
Onward and upwards, baby.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to a couple other topics. We got to talk about the Dolphins a little bit. Somehow these guys are always in the news. And John, did you hear that apparently Stephen Ross, this guy, big as balls, just set him on the table, rejected a $10 billion, that's billion with a B, a $10 billion bid to purchase the Dolphins, Hard Rock, and everything else that includes. Holy shit, man. I wish that I had that level of just like liquidity that I could just simply reject $10 billion. And I think, John, you even mentioned it, that when this guy purchased the Dolphins, he got it for about what? $1 billion?
$1 billion.
Bro, just the amount that it just like boggles the fucking mind at that point. That again, he's already at a like literally his floor, he has 10x his investment. This guy is probably not selling
billions.
Billions.
That's insane.
This guy,
bro. 10x in the billions.
Yeah, 10x in the fucking billions. Like, talk about being so deep in the Tres Commas Club, the 3 comma club, that you can just so easily reject that. Just that's so crazy, bro. You know what? He's 0-1. Owner 1. All right. Number 1 starting on the league. All right. Is not coming off the bench. By far, top tier, biggest balls owner in the NFL. Pause.
Damn.
No Diddy. All right.
Pause. No Diddy. Yo, Stephen Ross is owner 1. No Diddy.
No
Amen.
Diddy, dude.
For real though. I mean, like that's insane. Like, you know, it says like just Miami's up. Miami's up because Stephen Ross is obviously not a young gentleman, and so the fact that he looks at that and says, "Nah, it's worth more," and like I'm gonna like Miami just goes to show the future belief in the city and kind of like what's going on here. So Miami up, and it's also important to note that the $10 billion bid included like the F1 race here, so that's obviously, you know, speaks volumes because I think the latest rumor for the value is around $6 billion for the team.
Jesus.
So I don't know how much F1 valuations go for, but I would imagine the F1 race in Miami has to be pretty valuable.
That's
F1's up too, right? Like, are you an F1 fan, by the way? It's F1 race week in Miami right now.
It is F1 race week. Okay, you are right. I'm not gonna front. I'm a pretty casual when it comes to F1. I know Max Verstappen, and that's about it. I know Juan Pablo Montoya just because obviously he's Colombian and he used to race in F1. But yeah, gun to my head, you asked me to give you fun facts about F1. Tell my family I love them because I would not be able to. But I have had a lot of people attend the events, and I am told the streets do say that it's a very lit event. All right, Stephen Ross definitely knows how to entertain at his crib being Hard Rock Stadium. But no, otherwise, I could not tell you anything about F1. Cars go fast. That's about as in depth as I can go there. But yes, race week. Thank goodness that I will actually be out of town this week because the traffic just gets absolutely suicidal during race week. All right, you would think that the race is actually on I-95 and not again in the little circuit outside of F1. So yes. Big time. Not necessarily as big as Gol Gala will be, but I'm sure F1 will one day, you know, I'm sure they strive to kind of have, you know, the impact in the South Florida community that the Sports Spectator has. So F1, if you see this, we're happy to discuss, you know, some sort of endorsement. I'm sure there's some reciprocity that we could figure out to kind of help you guys get bigger, you know. Let us know. We're here.
Yeah. And word on the street is supposedly the Sports Spectator guys recently turned down a $1 billion bid as well. So, yeah, I mean, we're up as well.
We did indeed. Yeah. Breaking news. We did. We had a lot of suitors come and try to purchase it. But again, we see a lot bigger things than just one B. All right. We see multiple Bs in the range of this brand. So come with a better offer, mysterious buyer. Because
yeah, and that mysterious buyer is Jason Tatum, and fuck off. We don't
Yeah,
want
fuck
you.
that guy, dude. Fuck that guy, dude. Bro, man. I see Derek White. I see like his just bald head and his
I
just
love
like,
Derek White, dude. I really like him a lot.
what? We're gonna
I
have
mean,
to
like, obviously
edit
not as
that
a
out.
Celtics person, but like as a person in general, like I love how like he just gets memed so hard with just a picture of his face, but he still just balls on people. I love it.
Dude,
I love it.
he just,
He's my favorite
you know
Celtic.
what? You know what? Like I want to hate, like I hate the guy because he like fucking torched us, and he looks like the most random like creative player that I've ever seen in the NBA. Like doesn't look a lick of athletic, to be honest with you. I feel like he probably runs a mile maybe in 11 minutes. But he has no problem dropping over 30 points against my favorite basketball team. And I feel like I just can't hate that. Like I obviously hate the fact that he shits on us, but I get what you mean. Like it's just funny, like his face, his demeanor. Like it is
Yeah.
funny, but it also makes me angry. Like I get exactly what you mean. So, Derek White, I swear to God, I sincerely hope this is your last game in a Celtics uniform playing against my favorite team because I can't stand a guy that is that funny being that good. Okay? But yeah, I get what you mean, bro. Anyways, Heat and 7. Whew.
Heat and 7. Yep, facts.
All right.
Big facts.
Speaking of going back to the Dolphins, we got to talk about the draft a little bit. John, in 7 seconds, because it's Heat and 7, give me your immediate impression of this past draft. What grade would you give it? 7 seconds or less. Go.
I'm gonna give it a B plus, and only because
All right,
I
that was
like
over 7 seconds.
I'm
kidding.
Continue. I'm done, dude. Honestly, I don't really have much feedback for it. My only takeaways were that I hated that we drafted the running back out of Tennessee, and then I liked it because my perspective on it was, okay, this adds another young rookie who's super fast that we're like building up, and it like also still puts pressure on the current team, especially A-Chain, as far as like, okay, now you have another guy that compete with, he's the same as you, and like just keep the energy and the effort and the talent improving in that locker room, because I think a lot of us were probably expecting a running back to be drafted, or to be traded for something with Raheem Mostert. I mean, at least I did. So I came back around to liking the pick, and yeah, this dude's a speedster. But what do you think?
100%. No, honestly, I'm fairly happy with the draft. I try not to buy into a lot of hype in the draft. Even though technically whoever we draft, I'm just like, yeah, that's sensational, generational draft, regardless of who we get. But from a realistic take, a lot of people give like grades and people give opinions. And I'm a big believer that at the end of the day, all of these draft picks are a gamble. There is not a single guaranteed pick. Did you know, John, that on average, only 55% of first round draft picks actually stay with the team that drafted them and stay in the league in general after 3 years from being drafted? That's how intense
50%?
Yeah, 50, like
Wow.
around 55%. So literally about half of those draft picks in the first round, which are supposedly like easy layups, never even end up panning out for the team that drafting them. And that percentage decreases significantly every single round that you go. So kind of looking at those numbers, I'm like, at the end of the day, it's really a gamble. That being said, my absolute Delulu side being of my Dolphin fandom, I do like the picks. Okay. First round draft pick, Chop Robinson. I feel a lot of people were it was a very polarizing pick because the guy doesn't have incredible numbers when it comes to sacks, okay, when it comes to solo tackles and all of that. But here's the thing, if you actually go back and watch the tape, this guy consistently was getting double team, triple team. And again, he played in the Big Ten. He wasn't playing in like some random conference. All right. So this is sort of like our Aaron Donald. And I'm ready to call it. Chop Robinson is this generation's Aaron Donald. Because if you look at Aaron Donald, it was the same in the league. The guy wasn't getting just sensational numbers. But again, because teams knew that he was such a playmaker that they always had to put 2 guys, 3 guys against him. And again, the guy's only human. He's not going to put up like sensational numbers when he's getting triple team. And that's what I think we have. This is going to be a playmaker that is going to require so much of an offense's lines on the offense's OTs to pretty much stop him, that it'll pretty much open up the rest of the defense for other playmakers, such as Phillips, such as Chubb, in order to make big plays. So I feel like that's what I'm going with, and I feel like that's why I like the pick so much. And at the end of the day, we needed depth, all right, in the edge position. When Jalen Phillips went out, again, that was a huge gap. So overall, I'm pretty happy. The next pick we had, Patrick Paul out of Houston, also an amazing pickup. I'm just happy that we bolstered the O-line.
Is he Pierre Paul's son? I don't know why. That just is in my head when I hear his name.
That is a great question. I'm going to send it to my people and follow up with you on that, John. I'm going to probably guess no.
I'm going to guess no, too.
Now, if he happens to blow up his hand with like fireworks this year, I think that'll prove that. I don't know if you know about that. Like Jason Pierre-Paul literally like blew up his hand like with a Roman candle.
Yeah.
So maybe if he does that, I would believe it. But to my knowledge, I am not aware. But yeah, overall, I'm fairly happy with the draft. Again, we're going to see how this pans out. We've been drafting a lot better these past 2 seasons than we have in recent years. But did you know, fun fact, that statistically, we have the most Jalens on any team in the league?
I think that's a good thing.
Sabermetric of the day. I don't know how that translates.
I want to see the report. I want to see. I think we can probably get this pretty easily too. Well, not easily, but all the players named Jalen, and then all their respective stats. We have the most, and we definitely have the best. I'm gonna say.
I would go ahead. I would take that claim to the bank any day. I think you are absolutely 100% correct with that. But yeah, we'll see. All of our Jalen's, because we just drafted Jalen Wright out of Tennessee. So that's going to be interesting. So I don't know, man. We'll see. It's the roster. It's going to be interesting this year. I feel like this is probably our biggest window because it's Tua's 5th year. We picked up Jalen Waddle's 5th-year option. We picked up Jalen Phillips's 5th-year option. So we're not handing out contracts just yet. So I don't know, man. We're going to see. It's going to be an interesting season. I'm trying not to buy too much into it, but I inevitably will buy into it somehow, just like I do every single year. So we'll see, dude. Overall, solid draft. Good job, Mike McDaniel. That is $10 billion worth of draft picks if I've ever seen.
Dude, I'm officially a Chris Greer fan right now. I think I haven't for a while, but I support our GM. I'm giving him a good grade right now.
Dude, Chris Greer absolutely cooks, bro. Like he goes in, puts the stove on hot, and just absolutely cooks it up. All right.
He doesn't even put the vent fan on. He just leaves it off and lets the place just fill with aroma and smoke. And
he just raw dogs in the kitchen. All right, straight up.
Like so, Chris Greer, congrats! You got the stamp of approval from the $1 Billion Sports Spectator. So
you're welcome, guys. Congrats. We're not giving those left and rights, so that is quite the accolade. But yeah, man.
I got a question for you. Does Tua have more rushing yards this season than last? And as you're thinking on that, I'll pull up his stats.
Does he get? I mean, he barely rushed. Did he even rush for 100 yards last season? I cannot imagine.
He got 75% of the way there.
So 75 yards.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. He was the 5th running back in stats.
Interesting. And that still put him at number 5?
Uh-huh. He was above Salvin Ahmed.
Wow.
So more or less, under 75 yards.
I'm going to go with under. And I'll tell you why. Because I need that guy to not rush. I need him to pass. All right? I need his time in the pocket. I need that pocket to not collapse within like the 2 seconds, which has been occurring. And I need him to be able to make clean, uncontested throws. Okay? So if it were up to me, that guy would rush for 0 yards. All right? And would pretty much just sling it all day, every single day. Okay? I don't need my quarterback running. Okay, I'm not impressed. I'm sure he runs a very quick 40-yard dash. I am not debating that. But I need QB1 to stay in the pocket, not have it collapse, okay, and make the throws that he's supposed to all of the weapons that Mike McDaniel is getting him. Because I'm going to be honest, this is the final year where this guy sells me on if he's the future or not. Straight up. Okay?
I have optimism for you. This is a big thing for me. I just realized he's only 26 years old. He's young.
He is young, but again, man, I don't know if the Dolphins not drafting a quarterback, not getting any, QB position was a vote of confidence for him. I was legitimately convinced. I mean, we said it on this podcast that it was going to be Jordan Travis during the draft and that we were going to get him. And I legitimately, every single day in the draft, I saw that a little bit more realistic. So I was a little surprised when we didn't take anyone. So I don't know if that was a vote of confidence by the team or if it was simply the fact that the QBs that the team wanted just got picked off the board. But we'll see, man. The floor for me this season is just a fucking playoff game. Like, that is all I'm asking for. Like, I'm not putting Super Bowl. I'm not saying conference championship. Like, please just win a playoff game. That is it.
That's another fun fact. We have not won a playoff game with Stephen Ross as an owner.
Yeah, since the year 2000. I think he became an owner in, 2009, something like that?
Yeah, 2008.
2008? Yeah, okay. I was close. Yeah, man. And that's a terrible sabermetric. So if we don't get a playoff...
but 10x valuation and 0 playoff wins, that's just a GOAT business plan right there.
How does that fucking work? Bros like me,
Miami, baby.
What do the crypto bros have to say about that? Like, there's that. I'm sorry, when you actually put it into perspective like that, I'm just like, wait, you're fucking right. Like, we've produced no playoff wins, but somehow the franchise 10x in value. Like, make it make sense. Okay,
Miami, baby.
That's like if I buy a car, like, I never prove that it can even turn on. I just literally leave it sitting on my driveway, and fucking 10 years into the future, and someone's like, hey, I'll pay 10 times what you bought that car. It's like, oh, I haven't even turned it on. Like, do you even know I don't care. Like, let me buy it. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Business.
Yeah, that's just, I don't know. There's
Miami's
an
up.
NFT involved in there somewhere. I don't know, man.
We talked about this before. It's called Eek Coin, and then every following Ponzi scheme, we just add another Eek. So it's Eek, 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 and decades from now, it'll be like Eek squared, Eek. Yeah, math.
That is true. By the way, breaking news from ESPN. The game just started. Celtics, Boston, which means that potentially my life is on the line. So we'll see how that pans out. Well, of course, I will post a reaction on how that game goes. So Miami Heat, please don't let me down on Kobe's episode. I beg of you, please. Again, I'm either going to be very depressed or I'm going to be very happy using the clip that we made earlier. Another depressing team that we got to talk about, John, the Marlins. Absolutely fucking suck. I actually saw that Marlins Network, who we had on as a guest a couple weeks ago, they literally posted something. They're like, bro, I can't do this anymore. I'm doing this for fun. This isn't my job. And I can't do this when the team just continues losing. I think we dropped a 5-0 lead. I think it was against the Nationals.
Something bad like that, yeah.
And I saw that, and I'm just like, oh my God, bro, they're down bad right now.
Yeah, but something that will be up, and we could do this and bring like a camera and stuff. The 999 deal. This is not a literal Marlins thing, but this is a thing that we could do. You have to eat 9 hot dogs, drink 9 beers in 9 innings. Juan, I don't think you'd have a problem with that. I think you'd do it with ease.
I don't know, man. 9 glizzies is insane. That's
9 glizzies is insane.
9 G's, taking on the full force of 9 G's to the dome. That's
you can have that meme with the hot dogs.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I'm a big fan, of stuffing a glizzy, pause, no diddy, but 9 G's, that's tough. But I do agree, fuck it. We'll do that. We'll figure out a way to do the 9G challenge.
Dude, I'm down.
And with 9 beers, so averaging a glizzy and a beer per inning.
Yeah.
I mean,
you gotta chug the beer.
I feel like I could do it, but man, that's such an insane amount of consumption. And I mean, if the Marlins aren't gonna listen, You know what? I'm going to say this. If the Marlins aren't going to be the ones to put up a show at Lone Depot Park, then I think we have to take it upon ourselves to do the 9 Glizzy challenge.
That would 100% go viral. Like, we would get on like the Jumbotron and stuff. Like, yeah, for sure.
100%.
They'd have nothing else to Jumbotron. They'd be like looking out, and then they just see stacks of hot dogs and beers.
Well, I don't know. The fiesta on the field, that was pretty lit, John. So they do have that going for them.
Facts,
bro. But yeah, man. I think right now we're really just maintaining coverage on the Heat and the Celtics. Again, my mental health is on the line. No big deal. We got to see how that goes. But John, do we have anything else to discuss with the good people for today?
I think we end it there in 30 minutes flat. A quick episode for the peeps.
Yeah,
we'll see you next time.
Should have kept it at 24 minutes for Kobe's episode, but we can't all be perfect.
Dang. Yo, we have to go. Everyone watch Kobe versus Miami Heat highlights ASAP.
Please send some good vibes. Well, I'm sure technically by the time they listen, the game will be over. So I will either still be alive or, who knows.
And if the Heat won and Juan's still alive, you can watch Kobe highlights versus the Heat for
the next game, yes.
Yeah.
For game 6.
Heat in 7.
Heat in 7, baby.
Peace.
All right, guys. Take it.